The Narrator by Byron Broussard. To make them feel like they have no power. To make them feel like they have no power, the villain said, creeping out the corner of the stone wall. Brian swam in through the window and crashed on a love seat. He went to sleep for 7 hours. Brandon was up the whole time playing Uno with me, the villain said to Brian after he woke up with a mild hangover. Now that you are awake, let us light up some more fire sticks. Alexa, play fire noise and turn up the lights. Brian growled and covered his eyes. He looked towards Brandon, whose eyes were puffy and red. He had teardrop streams running down his cheek. I won every single game, Brandon said, yawning and rubbing his eyes. We played for 7 hours and I won every single game. Brandon swayed through that sentence and crashed through a plastic table with plastic plates and bowls and plastic utensils. There were also 4 little plastic chairs that he crashed into, each on their own time. Brian watched Brandon crashing through plastic things for a while. Then he got hungry and ate some of the roasted duck. This all happened in some manner of time. You are separating us, Brandon said loudly. Even I took a pause. You know, Brian said with his hand to his head, I think we can get the hang of this. He paced the floor in slow steps. Brandon stabled himself for an explanation. I think, he said, stopping and looking at Brandon, that I should simply finish the story. The next day they went to the outside roof of the tower. Then they said hello to each other and played Uno for upwards of 6 hours. I played with them as well. It was a swell time, honestly. We even had Waffle House thrown to us through the tower window. Brandon had 2 eggs and a ham sandwich. I had Jello and bean soup. Brian ate actual waffles, and it was sad to watch. How do you finish the story? Brandon said, wondering how they didn't finish talking the day before. Sometime after, personally, I'd say that the time was brilliantly lovely, like the passing of sunset over the water. There's something about beaches that everyone can't help but love. Brian was at the fire stick, trying to watch how it's hanging. Well, he said, looking over to Brandon, all we have to do is use your power to know your future. He smiled like a winner. Then it was time for dinner. They had a plain meal. Potatoes are interesting. All you have to do is tell me how the book ends, Brian said. There was a lot of time that passed. Time is interesting. I didn't read the book, Brandon says. His sheepish grin suggests that he does not like my writing. We played a lot of Uno. Waffle House threw out some waffles that ended up going through the tower window. Thanks, Brian said. That makes me feel better about my writing. Brian's walls were up. It was a tower. The moon was beautiful. Hey, Brian said, taking his fingers out of a peanut butter jar. What if you send a forever post-it note? The peanut butter was crunchy. They went to the roof of the tower. Then they went to sleep. Breakfast was a pretty clever concoction of culinary talents. I didn't do it yet, so I probably don't want to read the book. Is it dumb? Brandon asked. His tired eyes blinked slowly. There was a crust in his left eye that he wiped at, yawning. Later on, they were chilling in the tower. The book is dumb, yes, but it is also pretty cool, Brian said. He wanted to go to Waffle House. How does one describe beauty? Let me count the ways that are already cliché. Time. I figured it out, Brian said, leaning on the wall of the tower. We just got to do something personal like go to the mall that we mentioned earlier. Then you'll be able to change your mind about the book. And then we will know how it ends. Sweet.